Welcome to Lantern and Lullaby. I'm so glad you've chosen to spend this quiet evening here. Before tonight's journey begins, allow yourself to become completely comfortable. Let the day slowly drift behind you. Your thoughts can become a little quieter. Your breathing can settle into its own gentle rhythm. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing more you need to do. Tonight, we'll wander somewhere hidden, somewhere peaceful, where every step carries you a little further from the noise of the world and a little closer to rest. So, whenever you're ready, our story begins. The evening begins on a narrow path between quiet fields. Soft grass brushes the edges of the worn earth. Beyond the hedgerows, low hills roll gently towards the horizon. The last light of day rests across them in pale gold and faded green. There is no rain tonight, no distant thunder, only the sound of leaves stirring lightly and the occasional call of a bird settling somewhere out of sight. The path beneath you is dry and smooth. Small white flowers grow along its borders. A wooden gate stands open ahead, leading farther into the countryside. Nothing seems unusual. Nothing asks you to hurry. You continue at an easy pace, following the footpath wherever it chooses to go. Behind you, the wider world already feels a little farther away. Ahead, the fields become quieter, and the evening air grows softer with every step. The open gate makes no sound as you pass through. On the other side, the path becomes thinner. Tall grasses lean toward it from both directions, their seed heads glowing faintly in the remaining light. A few old trees stand scattered across the field, their branches spread wide and low, shaped by years of wind moving over the hills. The path curves between them. Here, the countryside feels untouched. There are no roads nearby, no houses, no distant engines, only the mild whisper of grass and the steady warmth of the earth after a long day. A line of small stones borders part of the trail. They are pale, smooth, and half hidden beneath moss. You follow them toward a shallow rise in the land. The sky above deepens slowly from gold to soft blue. And somewhere beyond the rise, unseen from here, the path appears to continue into a more sheltered valley. At the top of the rise, the land opens again. A small valley rests below. Its slopes are covered in thick grass, clover, and tiny yellow flowers. The evening wind barely reaches this place. Everything feels protected by the surrounding hills. The footpath descends in a slow curve. Near the center of the valley stands a broad old tree beside a shallow stream. Its roots reach into the bank like strong wooden fingers. The water moves quietly over flat stones, catching the last pieces of sunlight. A narrow crossing has been made from several worn slabs. They look old, but carefully placed. Beyond the stream, the path continues toward a cluster of smaller hills. One of them is rounder than the others, almost perfectly so. From this distance, there is nothing remarkable about it. Yet, your attention keeps returning to its gentle green shape, as though the path has been leading there all along. The flat stones beneath your steps are warm from the day. Water slips quietly between them. It is clear enough to reveal pale pebbles resting on the streambed below. Small leaves drift past, turning slowly in the gentle current. At the far bank, the path rises beneath the old tree. Its branches form a low green canopy overhead. For a few moments, the valley darkens beneath its shade. The air smells of bark, grass, and cool water. A simple wooden bench sits against the trunk. Its surface has been smoothed by weather, but it is not neglected. A few fallen petals have gathered across one end. Someone must pass this way. Still, there is no cottage nearby, no fence enclosing the land, no sign pointing onward. Only the path, emerging from beneath the branches and continuing toward the rounded hill. You leave the stream behind. Its quiet sound follows for a while, then slowly fades. Beyond the tree, clover spreads thickly across both sides of the path. Its small leaves overlap in soft green layers. Pale flowers rise between them, carrying a faint sweet scent into the still air. The path no longer looks like an ordinary public trail. It has become narrower and smoother, almost like a garden walkway hidden within the fields. Every bend appears gently maintained. Overgrown stems have been moved aside. Loose stones have been set into the earth. Yet there are no footprints, no tools, no sign of the person who tends it. The rounded hill stands closer now. A few bushes grow near its base. Their leaves are darker than the surrounding grass. A line of old fence posts runs toward it, then ends abruptly. Beyond the final post, the path curves out of view. The sun has almost disappeared, but a soft warmth seems to remain around the hill, separate from the fading evening light. The path reaches the foot of the hill. Up close, its shape feels even more unusual. The grass covering it is thick and even. Wildflowers grow in gentle bands around the slope, as though planted to follow the curve of the land. Bluebells, small white stars, tiny yellow blooms close to the ground. The air here is warmer, not by much, just enough to notice. You pause beside a low stone wall that disappears into the grass on either side. The stones are rounded, their cracks filled with moss. A narrow opening has been left in the center. Beyond it, the path climbs the lower slope. There is still no house, no roof, no chimney. Nothing that explains why the walkway has been kept so carefully. Above, the first faint stars begin to appear. The hillside rests beneath them, quiet and perfectly still. And somewhere within the grass, you hear the soft creak of wood. The sound comes again, a quiet wooden creak, followed by a gentle knock. It does not come from the trees behind you. It comes from somewhere ahead. You pass through the opening in the stone wall and follow the rising path. The flowers grow taller here, brushing softly against one another. A few round stepping stones have been set into the grass. They lead around the side of the hill rather than over its top. As you turn the curve, the valley disappears behind you. The hillside fills your view. For a moment, there is only grass, stone, and shadow. Then you notice something partly concealed beneath trailing ivy. A curved wooden edge, dark oak, polished by age. More ivy hangs over it like a curtain. The shape is too regular to be natural. The path ends directly before it, and from a narrow gap beneath the leaves, a thread of warm light reaches across the stones. You draw the ivy gently aside. Behind it stands a round wooden door set directly into the hill. Its oak planks curve perfectly within a frame of pale stone. A small iron handle rests near the center. There is no lock, no knocker, no carving or painted sign, only the simple door and the warm line of light beneath it. Flowering vines grow around the stone frame. Their leaves have been carefully guided away from the hinges. A smooth threshold has been worn into the ground. This entrance is used often, yet the hill above gives no indication that anything lies within. No smoke rises from the grass. No windows look out across the valley. You place your attention on the quiet around you. The wooden creak has stopped. From beyond the door comes another sound instead. Very faint, the distant movement of water, and beneath it, almost hidden, the soft crackle of a fire. The iron handle turns easily. The door moves inward with the same gentle creak you heard from the path. Warm air flows out around you. It carries the scents of oak wood, dried herbs, and bread baked sometime earlier in the day. Beyond the threshold is a small round entrance chamber. Its walls are made from smooth cream-colored plaster. Dark beams curve overhead, following the shape of the hill. A woven mat rests on the floor. Beside it stands a low wooden table holding an empty clay bowl and a folded green cloth. There is no one waiting. No voices greet you. The room feels prepared, but not occupied. A second opening lies opposite the door. Beyond it, a narrow passage slopes gently downward. Small wall lamps cast a steady, honey-colored glow across the floor. You step inside. Behind you, the evening countryside remains visible through the open, round doorway. Ahead, the passage disappears into the hill. Inside, the air is still and comfortable. The door remains open behind you, allowing the cool blue light of dusk to mix with the warmer glow of the chamber. Small wooden pegs line one wall. A few plain walking sticks lean beneath them. On another wall hangs a shallow basket filled with dried lavender and meadow flowers. Nothing is grand. Everything has been chosen for use. The passage ahead curves so that its end cannot be seen. Its floor is paved with smooth, amber-brown stones. A narrow channel runs beside them, carrying a thread of clear water deeper underground. The sound is peaceful. It gives the hidden place a quiet rhythm. Near the entrance to the passage, a small shelf holds several unlit candles and a polished stone. You do not need to take anything. The lamps are already glowing. The way ahead appears safe. And the warmth rising from below feels almost like an invitation. The first passage is wider than it appeared from the doorway. Its ceiling remains low and rounded, supported by heavy oak beams. Between them, roots emerge naturally from the earth. Some are thin as string, others twist along the ceiling before vanishing back into the walls. The water channel keeps pace beside the path. Every few steps, it passes beneath a tiny wooden bridge built into the floor. The light comes from recessed niches in the plaster. Each holds a simple shaded lamp placed far enough apart that the passage is never too bright. Small alcoves have been carved into the walls. One contains stacked firewood. Another holds baskets woven from willow. A third is empty except for a few smooth river stones. The passage turns gradually to the left. The open entrance is no longer visible. The hill has closed gently around you. Yet instead of feeling trapped, you feel sheltered. Around the bend, the passage opens into a small resting alcove. Wooden shelves curve along one wall. They hold clay jars, bundles of dried mint, and sprigs of rosemary tied with string. Their scents mingle in the warm air. A cushioned bench has been built beneath the shelves. Its fabric is plain, soft, and deep green. Across from it, water pours from the narrow channel into a shallow stone basin. The basin is no larger than a washing bowl. Overflow slips through a carved opening and continues down the passage. Everything here has been designed around the shape of the hill. No corner is sharp. No surface feels hurried. Above the bench, a small circular opening has been cut into the earth. A glass cover protects it. Through the glass, the darkening sky is barely visible between blades of grass. You are not yet far below the surface, but the path continues downward beyond the alcove. The passage descends more noticeably now. Its plaster walls give way to natural stone. The oak supports remain, fitted carefully between rough sections of earth and rock. Great roots cross overhead. They are larger here, broad and polished where generations of travelers may have brushed beneath them. Soft moss grows in the deeper cracks. The water channel widens slightly. Its surface reflects the lamps in long, wavering lines. A series of shallow steps follows the slope. Their centers have been worn smooth. At the bottom, the air becomes cooler. You hear the quiet echo of water somewhere farther ahead. The sound does not belong only to the channel beside you. There must be a stream within the hill. The thought seems impossible, yet everything around you suggests that this is only the outermost layer. The small doorway in the countryside was not the entrance to a single home. It was the beginning of a road. The steps end at a narrow underground stream. It moves through a natural opening in the stone, wider and deeper than the small channel that guided you here. The channel pours into it from one side. A bridge crosses the water. Its floor has been built from broad sections of ancient root, joined with pale wooden boards. Low rails curve naturally from the same living wood. The bridge is short, only a few quiet steps from one bank to the other. Below, the stream reflects the dark ceiling and the warm lights placed along the shore. Small, pale fish move beneath the surface. They vanish under the bridge, then appear again farther downstream. On the opposite side, The path enters another rounded archway. A faint breeze comes through it, warm, carrying the scent of bread, smoke, and damp stone. Somewhere ahead, there are larger rooms, perhaps even open spaces. You cross the stream and follow the breeze. The archway leads into a long hall. For the first time, several doors appear. Each one is round. Some are made from dark oak. Others are painted in muted shades of green, blue, or cream. They are set at different heights along the curved walls, connected by short stone steps and narrow landings. No two entrances are exactly alike. One has a clay pot filled with fern leaves. Another has a tiny wooden stool beside it. A third is framed by shelves holding polished stones. All the doors are closed. No light shines beneath them. The hall is silent except for water moving through a covered channel below the floor. Small ventilation openings high in the walls allow warm air to drift through. The place feels lived in, though everyone seems to have gone to rest. At the end of the hall, an open arch glows more brightly. Beyond it, you can see the edge of a larger chamber. Before reaching the brighter archway, you pass an open room on the right. It is a shared kitchen. A long wooden table stands at its center. Several low chairs have been pushed neatly beneath it. Copper pans hang above a wide stone hearth. The fire inside has burned down to a bed of gentle red embers. On the worktop rests a cooling loaf of bread beneath a folded cloth. Beside it sit 3 small jars and a bowl of green apples. The room is empty, yet it feels as though someone stepped away only moments ago. Shelves hold cups, mixing bowls and bundles of onions. A narrow pipe carries fresh water into a deep ceramic sink. From an opening near the ceiling, steam drifts slowly upward and disappears into the hill. The scent that reached you along the passage came from here. Warm bread, wood smoke, a quiet meal already finished. The brighter archway reveals a broad stairway descending through the stone. The steps curve around the outer wall of a tall, circular shaft. At its center, a great tree root drops into the depths. Smaller roots branch from it, reaching toward balconies and landings built into the rock. Only a few lamps glow along the railing. Their light is warm but subdued. Far below, more lights can be seen. Not scattered randomly, they form clear lines. Roads, windows, bridges. You cannot yet see the place they belong to. The curve of the stair keeps most of it hidden, but the hill is far deeper than it appeared from outside. A soft current of air rises through the shaft. It carries water sounds, creaking wood, and the faintest echo of a turning wheel. The stair continues down. With each step, the hidden world below draws nearer. Halfway down, the stair reaches a broad landing. A wooden railing overlooks the shaft. From here, you can see farther. Below, rooftops emerge between the roots. They are rounded and covered with moss, turf, and small gardens. Narrow lanes wind between them. A stone bridge crosses a stream that flows directly through the settlement. A water wheel turns slowly beside one of the larger buildings. The view is still partly hidden by the curve of the hill and the enormous central route. You catch only fragments: a chimney, a greenhouse roof, a tiny orchard beneath the stone ceiling. The village is not buried in darkness. Natural shafts rise through the hill, carrying faint blue evening light into the deeper chambers. Warm windows glow below it. The colors meet softly across the rooftops. For the first time, you understand. There is not merely a house beneath the hill. There is an entire village. The stair leaves the circular shaft and enters a sloping tunnel. This passage feels different from those above. Its walls are lined with pale stone. Small plants grow from carefully built ledges: fern leaves, trailing ivy, tiny flowers that open toward the passing air. The sound of the village becomes clearer. Water moving beneath bridges, wooden wheels turning slowly, a fire settling in a distant hearth. Still, there are no voices, no hurried footsteps. The entire settlement seems to be sleeping or quietly waiting. Ahead, the tunnel widens. Cool blue light pours through the opening. Warm window light flickers beneath it. You can see a stone railing at the edge of the path. Beyond it lies open space. The final few steps level out. The air smells of gardens, earth, and fresh bread. You approach the railing, and the hidden village begins to unfold beneath you. The tunnel opens onto a high stone terrace. The village stretches out below. Hundreds of rounded homes have been built into the slopes of an immense underground valley. Their doors and windows glow softly beneath moss-covered roofs. Stone lanes curve between gardens, orchards, and small squares. Streams divide and rejoin throughout the settlement. They pass beneath wooden bridges, beside water wheels, and through channels lined with flowers. Great roots descend from the ceiling like ancient pillars. Between them, natural openings carry the final blue light of evening deep into the hill. Farther away, a larger hall stands beside a broad underground lake. Its surface reflects every window and bridge in long golden lines. Nothing about the quiet hillside outside could have prepared you for this. The village feels older than memory, sheltered, warm, entirely at peace. The road from the terrace winds gently downward, and beneath the hill, a whole hidden world is waiting to be explored. The road leaves the high terrace in a gentle curve. Low stone walls follow both sides of the descent. Fern leaves spill over their edges, mixed with small white flowers and creeping thyme. Below, the village remains spread across the underground valley. From this lower angle, its distant lights no longer seem like scattered points. They belong to windows, doorways, small bridges crossing narrow streams. The road beneath you is paved with smooth stones worn pale through years of use. A shallow channel runs alongside it, carrying clear water downhill. Now and then, the channel passes beneath the road through a small covered opening. The air is warmer here than it was on the terrace. It carries the smell of wet stone, wood smoke, and something sweet baking farther below. You continue down. The enormous roots overhead become partly hidden behind rooftops and garden walls. The village is no longer only something to look at from above. You are beginning to enter it. At the bottom of the slope, the road narrows into a quiet lane. Rounded homes are built directly into the earth on either side. Their walls are pale stone and cream plaster. Each roof is covered with moss, clover, or low-growing herbs. The doors are round, though no two are quite the same. One is made from weathered oak. Another has been painted a muted blue-green. A third is framed by smooth river stones. Small gardens fill the spaces between them. Clay pots hold rosemary, mint, and fern leaves. Low wooden fences protect patches of lettuce and curled green cabbage. Nothing is untidy. Nothing feels arranged merely for decoration. Every basket, pot, and bench appears to have a purpose. The lane bends ahead beneath a broad route that crosses from one hillside to the other. Warm window light rests across the stones. There are still no voices, only the quiet movement of water somewhere nearby. The lane opens into a cluster of small gardens. They have been fitted carefully into every curve of the land. Raised beds follow the rounded walls of the homes. Beans climb simple wooden frames. Soft-leaved herbs grow beneath low windows. A patch of strawberries spreads beneath a woven border. Tiny red fruit hides among the leaves. Water reaches each garden through narrow stone channels. Small wooden gates can be lifted to guide the flow from one bed to another. The water moves slowly, just enough to darken the soil and keep the leaves bright. A wooden barrow rests beside a pile of fresh compost. Its handles are smooth from use. Nearby, several empty baskets have been stacked beneath a sheltering ledge. The village feels active even in its silence. Someone has watered these beds. Someone has gathered vegetables. Someone will return for the baskets. You follow the lane between the gardens, careful not to disturb anything growing beside the path. A narrow stream crosses the lane ahead. Unlike the deeper water beneath the root bridge, this stream is shallow and bright. Its bed is lined with pale stones. A small arched bridge carries the path across it. Flower boxes have been built along both sides. Trailing white blossoms hang over the stonework. Blue flowers grow between them, their petals shifting slightly in the passing air. The bridge is only a few steps long. Below, the water divides around a smooth, central rock. Tiny ripples carry reflections of nearby windows downstream. On the opposite bank, the lane divides. One path continues between the homes. The other follows the stream beneath low trees and flowering shrubs. A wooden water gate rests partly open beside the bridge. It directs a small amount of water toward the gardens you have just passed. You cross slowly. From the center, you can see several more bridges farther through the village. Each one links another quiet part of the settlement. You take the path that follows the water. The stream stays close beside you. Sometimes it narrows between stone banks. Sometimes it widens beneath overhanging plants. Small wooden platforms have been built at intervals along the shore. One holds a pair of empty watering cans. Another has several clean clay pots drying upside down. The path is shaded by low fruit trees growing from pockets of deep soil. Their branches arch over the water. A few pale blossoms remain between the leaves, though most have already become small green fruit. The air beneath them smells fresh and faintly sweet. Across the stream, rounded windows look out from homes built into the opposite slope. Their curtains are drawn halfway. A single chair sits beside one window, facing the water. The stream bends gently through the settlement. You follow its clear surface toward the steady sound of a turning wheel. The sound grows deeper around the next bend. A wooden water wheel turns beside a broad stone building. The stream has been guided into a raised channel that carries water over its upper edge. Each dark wooden paddle catches the flow. The wheel lowers it smoothly into the pool beneath. Nothing turns quickly. The movement is steady and unhurried. A shaft passes through the stone wall into the building beyond. From inside comes a soft rhythm of wooden gears. The building has a rounded roof covered with thick moss. Bundles of reeds have been stacked beneath one sheltered side. A narrow footbridge crosses behind the wheel, connecting the path to a small landing. Water droplets cling to the wood and catch the warm light from a nearby window. The wheel continues its patient turning. Its sound moves through the stone beneath your feet. It feels less like machinery and more like the slow heartbeat of the village. A path beside the water wheel leads into a sheltered courtyard. Several sacks rest beneath a timber awning. They are tied neatly with plain cord. Nearby, shallow wooden trays hold pale grain spread in thin layers. A stone grinding wheel stands against the wall. Its surface is dusted lightly with flour. The broad building beside the courtyard appears to be a mill. A pair of round doors opens onto a storage room filled with baskets, scoops, and wooden bins. Nothing is labeled. Nothing needs to be. A small broom leans against the threshold. Fresh sweet marks cross the floor. From a vent near the roof comes the warm, dry scent of grain. The turning mechanism inside remains quiet and steady. At the far side of the courtyard, another lane passes beneath an arch covered in climbing leaves. Beyond it, you catch the smell of bread more clearly than before. The bakery cannot be far away. The lane emerges beside a small bakery. Its entrance is framed by pale stone and dark wooden beams. The round door has been left open. Inside, shelves hold rows of cooling loaves. Some are long and narrow. Others are small and round, with flour still resting across their crusts. A wide brick oven glows at the back of the room. Its fire has burned low, leaving a calm orange-red warmth behind. On a wooden work table, dough rests beneath clean cloths. A bowl of oats stands beside a jar of seeds. The bakery is empty, but it does not feel abandoned. A rack near the doorway holds several woven bread baskets. One has already been filled. The scent is rich and comforting. Warm grain, wood smoke, a little honey. Outside, a narrow bench has been built into the wall. You pause there for a moment while the quiet village continues around you. Beside the bakery door is a round serving window. Its wooden shutter has been folded upward. A smooth stone counter extends beneath it. Several fresh rolls rest in a shallow basket. A small clay dish beside them contains pale butter and a wooden spreading knife. Nothing has been priced. No coins wait nearby. The food appears to have been left for anyone passing through. You remain beside the window while warmth from the bakery drifts outward. Across the lane, a tiny square garden grows beneath a shaft of blue evening light. Lavender surrounds a single pear tree. Its leaves cast soft moving shadows across the stones. A low table stands beneath the branches with 2 empty cups. The village seems built around quiet gestures of care. Bread left warm, water guided toward gardens, seats placed where someone might want to rest. The lane continues beyond the pear tree toward a row of softly glowing windows. The glowing windows belong to a small tea room. Its entrance opens onto a sheltered garden rather than directly onto the lane. Low stone walls enclose the space. Several round wooden tables stand between beds of mint, chamomile, and lemon balm. Each table is surrounded by simple low chairs. The garden is empty. Still, one table has been prepared. A clay teapot rests on a woven mat. 2 cups stand beside it. Steam no longer rises from the spout, but the pot remains faintly warm. A narrow glass roof covers part of the garden. Drops of condensation cling to its underside. Beyond the glass, a natural shaft carries cool blue light down from the surface. The plants beneath it grow thick and bright. A small stove glows through the tea room's open doorway. You hear water settling inside a kettle. Nothing here asks you to enter. The peaceful garden itself feels like enough. The tea room is small and rounded. Its walls are lined with shallow shelves, holding clay pots, cups and bundles of dried leaves. A black kettle rests on the stove. Its lid shifts gently as the water inside cools. Several cushioned seats have been built into the curved wall. Their fabric is soft green and faded gold. A low table stands before them. On it rests a bowl of dried apple slices and a small pot of honey. The room smells of mint, warm clay, and wood smoke. A circular window looks back into the garden. Beyond the glass, the blue light from above makes the herbs appear almost silver. Another doorway leads out through the far wall. From there, you can hear leaves stirring. The sound is different from the garden. Broader, softer. Perhaps an orchard lies beyond. You leave the quiet stove behind and follow the scent of fruit. The doorway opens into a surprisingly wide orchard. Rows of small fruit trees grow beneath the stone ceiling. Their roots are protected by circular beds of dark soil. Apple branches bend beneath red and green fruit. Pear trees stand farther back. Near the edge of the orchard, plums hang among deep purple leaves. Natural shafts descend through the hill above. They carry cool evening light down onto the trees in pale columns. Between those columns, small hooded lamps provide only enough warmth to soften the shadows. A narrow stream divides the orchard. Simple boards cross it at several points. Wooden ladders rest against 2 of the trees. Several baskets sit nearby. partly filled with fruit. No one is gathering it now. The orchard waits in complete stillness. Leaves whisper faintly beneath the passing air. It feels impossible that so much could grow beneath a quiet green hill. A narrow path winds between the trees. Fallen leaves lie softly across the stone. Now and then, a ripe apple rests beneath a branch. The stream follows at a distance, appearing between the trunks before vanishing again. Small wooden markers have been placed beside some of the beds. They carry no writing. Each has been shaped differently instead. A carved leaf, a simple circle, a shallow wave. Perhaps those shapes are enough for the villagers to know each part of the orchard. Near the center, one tree has grown larger than the others. A round bench surrounds its trunk. Several folded picking cloths rest across the seat. Above, its branches spread beneath a natural opening in the ceiling. The last blue light of evening enters directly through it. You pause beneath the tree. The orchard feels both cultivated and ancient, as though it has been growing here for generations. Beyond the orchard stands a low, open-sided shelter. Inside is a wooden fruit press. Its broad screw descends over a circular basket filled with crushed apples. A shallow channel carries pale juice into a waiting clay jar. Several empty barrels line the back wall. Their hoops are dark iron. A wooden scoop and a folded cloth rest on a nearby shelf. The press has been cleaned carefully. Only the scent remains. Sweet apple, fresh wood, cool stone. A small stream passes behind the shelter and turns a narrow wheel connected to the press by a simple belt. The wheel is not moving now. The water has been diverted through another channel for the night. Beside the shelter, a path climbs toward a higher part of the village. From there comes the quiet sound of leaves and a deeper bell-like tone, not loud. Only one low note, carried gently through the underground valley. The path climbs through a series of broad, shallow steps. Unlike the great stairway in the central shaft, these steps are intimate and gently curved. Low homes are built into the slope beside them. Small balconies project above the lane. Woven blankets hang over one railing to air. A row of clay shoes rests outside another doorway, freshly cleaned and empty. Water runs down a narrow channel at the center of the steps. Every few levels, it passes through a carved stone basin where leaves have gathered. The higher you climb, the more of the village becomes visible behind you. Orchard trees, the bakery roof, the turning water wheel, streams weaving between homes. Ahead, the steps lead toward a broad archway supported by dark oak beams. A single low bell hangs beneath it. The last vibration of its note has already faded. Beyond the arch stands the village meeting hall. It is larger than the surrounding homes, but built with the same rounded shapes. Heavy oak beams support its moss-covered roof. Wide double doors have been left open. Inside, long curved benches face a broad central hearth. The fire has burned low. Only a few embers remain beneath pale ash. The walls hold simple woven hangings, patterned with leaves, streams and hills. No words, no names, no symbols that need explanation. A long table stands against the far wall. On it rest empty cups, folded cloths, and several bowls that have been washed and left to dry. The hall appears to have been used earlier in the evening. Now it has settled into quiet. The space feels communal rather than grand. A place for meals, stories, decisions made slowly beside the warmth of the fire. You continue through a side doorway towards the sound of running water. The side doorway leads onto a covered walkway. Its wooden roof follows the curve of the hillside. Open arches look across the village below. Between the arches, climbing vines wrap around the posts. Small white flowers have opened in the cooler air. A stone channel runs along the inner wall. Water moves through it in a steady silver line. The walkway passes above several gardens and crosses over a narrow lane. From here, you can see the tea room's glass roof and the orchard beyond it. Farther down, the water wheel continues turning. The village is larger than it first appeared. Every level connects with another. Steps meet bridges, channels divide and return. Paths curve around homes before joining larger roads. At the end of the covered walkway, a short bridge reaches a circular platform suspended above the stream. A small pavilion stands at its center. The circular pavilion rests directly above the meeting of two streams. Its floor is made from smooth wooden boards. A low railing surrounds the edge. At the center stands a round table carved from a single piece of pale wood. Several small chairs face outward rather than toward the table. They have been placed for looking across the village. From here, water can be seen traveling in every direction. One stream descends from the orchard, another arrives from the higher homes. They join beneath the platform, then divide again into three flower-lined channels. Warm light from nearby windows moves across the surface. Above it, cooler blue light filters through the high roots. The colors meet without disturbing one another. You sit only in imagination. The pavilion remains empty and still. Ahead, one of the departing paths curves toward the oldest looking part of the main village. The path beyond the pavilion enters a quieter lane. The homes here appear older. Their stone frames are broader. Their oak doors are darker and more deeply worn. Moss grows thickly between the paving stones. Small shelves have been carved beside several entrances. One holds a row of smooth pebbles. Another supports a clay lamp that has already gone out. A third is covered with tiny pots of thyme. The lane curves around the base of a massive root. Its surface rises through the ground like the wall of a tree. Several doorways have been built directly beside it. The village still feels cared for, but this part carries greater age. The stone has settled. The wood has darkened. The gardens grow more freely. At the end of the lane, the ground opens into a wider space. You hear the gentle splashing of a fountain. The lane opens into the village square. It is not large or formal. Rounded homes, workshops, and small gardens gather around it in a gentle circle. At the center stands a low stone fountain. clear water rises only a little before falling into a broad, shallow basin. Several channels leave the fountain and disappear beneath the surrounding lanes. A mature tree grows beside it. Its roots lift sections of the paving into soft, uneven curves. Benches have been built around the trunk. Nearby, a long table remains beneath a simple wooden shelter. Empty bowls and cups have been stacked neatly at one end. The village meeting hall stands on the higher slope behind you. Ahead, 3 new roads leave the square. One follows the stream toward the oldest quarter. Another climbs beneath the roots. The third descends through a pale stone archway. A cooler breath of air rises from that lower road. It carries the deeper echo of underground water. The village square remains peaceful behind you, and beneath the old arch, another part of the hill waits in darkness. The old stone arch feels different from every doorway you have passed. Its blocks are larger, more worn. Tree roots have slowly grown through the mortar over countless seasons. Beyond it, the streets become quieter. The homes stand farther apart. Gardens grow larger. Flowering herbs spill gently across the edges of the path. The channels of water become narrower. They move more slowly here. Several tiny wooden bridges cross them. No lamps hang overhead. Only warm window light and pale blue skylight guide your way. Everything feels older, slower, as though this part of the village has remained unchanged for generations. You pass beneath the arch and continue deeper into the oldest heart of the hidden settlement. The road narrows once again. On either side, long raised beds overflow with carefully tended herbs. Lavender, rosemary, sage, mint, chamomile. Every leaf releases a gentle fragrance into the cool evening air. Stone edging has been polished smooth by countless footsteps. Small watering channels weave between the beds. Tiny wooden gates stand open. No fences are needed here. Everything grows peacefully together. Beyond the gardens, warm windows glow quietly beneath moss-covered roofs. The gentle scent follows you as the path bends onward. Ahead, an enormous tree root disappears directly into the hillside. A rounded doorway has been built beneath it. Inside, curved wooden shelves follow the shape of the walls. Hundreds of well-worn books rest quietly together. No titles can be seen from here, only soft leather bindings. The room is empty. A small reading table waits beside a round window. The quiet feels even deeper than outside. You pause only for a moment, then return to the path. The books remain where they have always been, patiently waiting. The road descends gently beside another stream. This one moves with greater purpose. Its current disappears beneath a broad wooden wheel. The wheel turns slowly, almost silently. Beyond it, water continues through carefully carved channels. Everything works together, without hurry, without waste. Flower petals drift across the surface before slipping beneath the turning wheel. You continue beside the flowing water, listening to its steady rhythm. The stream widens into a peaceful courtyard. Several enormous roots emerge from the ceiling, their trunks spread across the stone before disappearing once more into the earth. Circular benches have been built around them. Flowering vines climb slowly towards the branches above. Tiny white blossoms catch the cool light. Everything feels sheltered, protected, as though the roots themselves have gathered the village beneath them. A broad wooden bridge crosses the widest stream you have seen underground. The water below moves slowly enough to mirror everything above it: roots, windows, flowers, even the pale openings high overhead. The reflections remain almost perfectly still. Only the slightest ripple disturbs them. You pause at the center. The village seems to exist twice, above and below. Beside the bridge stands a small round house, almost hidden beneath fruit trees. Branches lean gently across its roof. Tiny apples glow softly in the evening light. Stone baskets wait beneath the trees. The doorway remains open. Inside, shelves hold neatly arranged preserves. Everything has been left ready for another morning. The road climbs once more. Wide stone steps disappear between towering roots. Soft moss cushions every edge. Small ferns grow from every crack. The higher you climb, the quieter everything becomes. Only distant water remains. The village slowly falls behind you. At the top of the steps waits a hidden garden. Curved glass rises overhead. Tiny droplets cover every pane. Moonlight filters softly through the condensation. Pale flowers fill every corner. A single stone path winds quietly between them. The scent is fresh, cool, entirely still. At the center of the garden stands an old circular stone well. Clear water rests far below. The surface barely moves. Looking into it feels like looking into another sky. Blue light reflects upward through the opening. Ancient stones circle its edge. Their surfaces have become smooth with time. Nothing disturbs the silence. A narrow channel leaves the base of the old well. At first, it is almost hidden beneath the surrounding flowers. The water moves silently through a groove cut into the stone floor. You follow it between the pale garden beds. Near the far wall, the channel passes beneath a low arch formed from roots and rock. Cool air rises from the opening. The scent of wet earth becomes stronger. Beyond the arch, the glass-roofed garden ends. The path narrows into a natural passage, descending through the hill. Its walls glisten faintly with moisture. Small patches of moss glow green beneath the blue light behind you. The well water continues beside the path. It seems to know exactly where it is going. You leave the flowers and moonlit glass behind and follow the quiet channel into the deeper earth. The passage curves beneath the oldest roots of the hill. They cross overhead in thick, twisting layers. Some vanish into the walls. Others form natural arches above the path. The stone beneath you has been worn smooth. Along one side, the water channel remains narrow and clear. Its soft movement echoes through the tunnel. There are no windows here, no village doors, only roots, stone and water. A few shallow niches have been carved into the walls. Each holds a simple clay bowl filled with pale river pebbles. Nothing glows. Nothing has been placed merely for decoration. The bowls seem to mark the path quietly. The tunnel bends ahead. Beyond the curve, a faint silver blue light rests against the stone. You continue toward it. The tunnel opens into a tall, narrow chamber. Water falls gently from hundreds of tiny openings in the ceiling. Not in a heavy curtain, only fine silver threads. They descend through the cool air and disappear into shallow channels below. The sound is soft and constant, like distant rain heard from beneath a roof. Flat stone paths cross between the falling streams. Their surfaces shine with moisture. Ferns grow along the chamber walls. Their leaves tremble whenever a drop touches them. At the far side, the water from the well joins the larger network beneath the floor. The channels gather together and continue through another low opening. You stand within the gentle rainfall for a moment. The air feels clean, cool, almost weightless. Then you follow the dry stone path toward the next chamber. Beyond the rain chamber, the air becomes warm again. A rounded room has been carved into pale stone. Wooden rails follow the curve of the walls. Clean cloths hang from them in loose folds. Some are soft cream, others are muted green or faded blue. The warmth here comes from narrow channels beneath the floor. You can feel it rising gently through the stone. A long wooden bench rests near the center. Several woven baskets stand beneath it. Everything smells of clean fabric, cedar, and warm earth. The water sounds remain behind you, muffled now by the thick stone walls. At the opposite side, folded cloths have been stacked neatly on broad shelves. A small arched doorway leads onward. Cooler air moves through it, carrying the faint scent of minerals and deep underground water. The next passage is broader than the root tunnel. Its walls contain pale mineral veins. Soft white lines move through the darker stone like frozen water. The channel beside the path has widened. Its surface is perfectly clear. Every mineral mark beneath it can be seen. Small stone basins have been built into the wall at intervals. Water enters each one through a narrow spout, circles slowly, then returns to the main channel. The air carries a faint warmth. Not enough to create steam, only enough to soften the chill of the deeper hill. Ahead, the passage divides around a broad stone pillar. One path continues level, the other slopes gently downward beside the warmer water. A smooth wooden rail follows the descending side. You take the lower path. The quiet mineral current travels with you. The descending path enters a long gallery. The stone beneath your feet has become pleasantly warm. Broad slabs form the floor. Each one is slightly different in color. Soft gray, pale green, muted cream. The water channel runs through the center of the gallery now. Low wooden walkways follow both sides. Along the walls, Shallow alcoves hold smooth stones arranged by size. Some are dark and round, others are pale and flat. The gallery feels carefully maintained, yet no one is here. The warmth rises through the soles of your steps. Far ahead, a soft haze rests beneath the ceiling. Not smoke, steam, only a little. The first clear sign that hotter water lies somewhere beyond. You continue toward it. The gallery opens around a small, circular basin. Warm water enters through a crack in the rock. A delicate layer of steam rests above its surface. The basin is too small for bathing. It seems to collect and cool the water before sending it onward. Several carved channels leave its edge. One returns toward the village. Another disappears beneath the wall. A third follows the path ahead. The stone around the basin is pale and smooth. Mineral deposits have formed gentle white curves along the rim. A wooden ladle rests on a low shelf nearby. Beside it stands a plain clay cup. Perhaps travelers pause here. Perhaps the water is meant to be tasted. You do not disturb it. The steam rises and fades into the cool air. Beyond the basin, the path passes beneath another ancient route. The deeper water continues ahead. Past the route arch, the hill opens suddenly. A wide underground river moves through a vast natural cavern. Its surface is dark blue and slow. Stone platforms follow the near bank. Across the water, enormous roots descend from the ceiling and vanish beneath the current. The village feels very far away now. Only a few distant windows can be seen, high in the rock behind you. The river carries their reflections into the darkness. A narrow wooden bridge begins from the platform ahead. It does not cross the whole cavern. Instead, it reaches a low stone island near the center of the river. On that island stands a simple covered shelter. The roof is formed from overlapping wooden shingles. No lights burn beneath it. The bridge rails are low and smooth. Water moves quietly around the island. You step towards the beginning of the crossing. The bridge carries you to the small island. The shelter is open on every side. A smooth stone bench follows its inner wall. At the center stands a shallow bowl carved directly into the floor. River water rises through a small opening beneath it. The surface remains level with the stone. No steam rises here. This water is cool and clear. The shelter gives a wide view of the cavern. Behind you, the distant village lights rest high among the roots. Ahead, the river disappears between two enormous walls of rock. Along the right-hand bank, a narrow path has been cut above the water. Small, pale stones mark its edge. The island feels like a place to pause between worlds. The warm village behind, the older depths ahead. You cross the second short bridge toward the far bank. The river continues beside you. The far bank path follows the river into deeper shadow. The rock wall rises close on one side. Dark water moves quietly on the other. After a short distance, the path turns beneath a cluster of enormous roots. They descend together, like the columns of an ancient hall. Between them stands a tall, rounded door. It is made from pale wood. Unlike the doors in the village, it has no window. No handle can be seen. A narrow channel of warm water disappears beneath its threshold. The stone around the doorway is marked by soft white mineral lines. A faint mist rests against the lower edge. The river continues beyond the roots, but the path ends here. You stand before the silent door. Behind it, something warm and quiet moves through the deepest part of the hill. The pale wood shifts inward, only slightly, and a breath of steam reaches the cool cavern air. The small island rests quietly behind you. Ahead, the opening beneath the roots waits on the far side of the water. A narrow crossing of flat stones leads toward it. Each stone rises only slightly above the underground river. The water moves between them in dark, gentle ribbons. Its surface catches the pale mineral light from the walls. You step from one stone to the next. The river feels wider here, deeper too, yet its current remains slow and calm. The sound of the village has completely disappeared. No mill wheel turns, no garden stream trickles nearby. Only the quiet movement of water follows you across. At the final stone, a low arch opens beneath the ancient roots. Warm air drifts through it. The air carries the faint scent of wet stone and something soft and earthy. You step beneath the arch. Behind you, the river continues on through the darkness. Ahead, the deeper sanctuary begins. The passage beyond the river is narrower than the chambers before it. Ancient roots curve along both walls. Some are thick and smooth. Others divide into smaller strands that disappear into the stone. Warmth seems to travel through them. You feel it in the air. You feel it beneath your feet. The floor is made from broad slabs of dark stone, worn smooth by time. Between them, thin seams of pale mineral light glow softly, not brightly, only enough to guide the way. The passage bends in slow curves. You never see too far ahead, yet nothing here feels uncertain. The roots seem to lead you onward. Small drops of water gather along their lower edges. Every so often, one falls. The sound is clear and delicate, a single note in the quiet. You continue deeper. With every turn, the air grows warmer. The river sounds fade behind you. Soon, all that remains is the hush of the roots and your slow journey beneath them. The root passage opens into a rounded chamber. The walls here are unlike the cold stone behind you. They hold warmth. You can feel it before you reach them. Soft mineral veins run through the rock in pale bands. Some are cream-colored. Some carry a faint blush of rose. Others shimmer gently like wet clay. Low stone benches curve around the edge of the chamber. Their surfaces are smooth and broad. Steam drifts from narrow openings near the floor. It spreads slowly across the room before disappearing into the warmer air above. Nothing rushes. Nothing rises in thick clouds. The steam simply moves, quietly, patiently. At the center of the chamber is a shallow circular hollow, filled with smooth stones. Each one glistens with condensation. The room feels cared for, although no one is here. Perhaps travelers once paused here after crossing the river. Perhaps they sat against the warm walls and listened to the hill breathing around them. You remain for a moment. The warmth settles through the chamber and through you. A narrow opening waits on the far side of the warm chamber. Water falls across it in a thin sheet. Not a waterfall, more like a curtain. Clear mineral water slips from a ledge above and reaches the floor without splashing. The flow is perfectly even. Behind it, the next passage is visible only as a soft shape. Warm light glows through the moving water. The surface catches it and breaks it into pale ripples. You approach slowly. Small channels have been carved into the floor to carry the water away. They lead around the chamber and disappear beneath the walls. The curtain gives off a gentle sound, a low, silvery whisper. You step closer. Cool mist touches the air around you, but the chamber remains warm. For a moment, you stand before the falling water. Then you move through. The water parts around the path. Only the faintest spray reaches the stone beneath you. On the other side, the light becomes softer. The passage ahead is quiet and pale. Beyond the mineral curtain, the stone changes color. The dark floor gives way to pale limestone. It stretches ahead in a broad, gently descending path. The walls are smooth and softly layered. Each band of stone curves through the passage like a quiet wave. There are no sharp corners here, no broken surfaces. Everything has been shaped by water and time. A narrow stream runs beside the path. Its bed is lined with white pebbles. The water is so clear that the pebbles appear almost dry. Occasionally, the stream passes beneath the walkway and returns on the other side. The crossings are marked by small stone arches. Warm light seems to rise from below the water. It reveals every curve in the passage. You follow the pale walk deeper beneath the hill. Your steps feel lighter here. The warm chamber remains behind you. Ahead, the path slopes toward a low golden haze. The pale path ends at a series of low terraces. Each terrace holds a small spring. The springs are different shapes. One forms a narrow oval. Another rests inside a square basin with rounded corners. A third gathers in a natural hollow beneath the roots. Water moves quietly from one level to the next. It slips over smooth ledges in thin, silent layers. No spring is large enough to feel grand. Together, they create something gentler, a place made from many small pools. Warm steam hovers just above the water. The terraces are bordered by pale stone and soft patches of moss. Small ferns grow where the warmth reaches the damp earth. You follow a narrow path between the springs. Each pool reflects a different piece of the chamber. Roots above, mineral walls, the faint glow beneath the water. At the final terrace, a larger passage opens ahead. The sound beyond it is deeper, slow water moving through a wider space. The next chamber is long and open. Water runs through it in many narrow channels. They cross the floor in smooth curves. Some travel beside the walls. Others divide around low stone platforms before joining again. The channels are shallow. Their movement is slow enough to reveal every pebble beneath the surface. Small bridges cross them at different points. Each bridge is made from a single slab of stone. The ceiling rises higher here. Roots hang from it in long, gentle arcs. Between them, mineral formations gather like pale, folded cloth. The room is filled with the quiet sound of moving water. Not one stream, many, each with its own soft rhythm. You choose the central path. It leads between the channels toward a wide stone doorway. Along the way, the air becomes warmer still. The sanctuary seems to be carrying water from chamber to chamber, sharing its warmth, passing its calm deeper beneath the hill. Halfway through the hall, a small alcove opens in the wall. It is easy to miss. A low stone seat has been carved into it. The alcove faces one of the flowing channels. Here, the water passes beneath a thin shelf of rock. The shelf changes its sound. What was once a quiet stream becomes a deeper murmur, soft, steady. Almost like distant rain, heard from inside a warm room. You step into the alcove. The sounds from the larger hall grow faint. The curved walls gather the murmur of the water and hold it close. The stone seat is dry and gently warmed. Above it, fine roots spread across the ceiling in delicate lines. There is no decoration, nothing placed here for display, only stone, water, roots, and the sound they create together. You rest for a while. The murmur continues without changing. It asks nothing from you. It simply fills the alcove with calm. Leaving the alcove, you continue through the wider hall. The doorway ahead leads into a chamber with a ceiling unlike any you have seen before. Thousands of slender roots cross above you. They weave together in slow, natural patterns. Some pass over one another. Some disappear into the stone. Others descend towards the floor before curving upward again. Moisture gathers along them. Tiny droplets catch the mineral light. The whole ceiling seems dusted with quiet stars. But these lights do not float. They do not glow by themselves. They are only reflections held in water. The chamber below is simple. A broad stone floor, a few low resting ledges, a narrow, warm stream running through the center. Your attention remains above. The roots stretch from one end of the room to the other, holding the hill together, carrying water, carrying warmth, perhaps carrying the memory of every season that has passed over the hidden village above. At the far end of the root chamber, the floor becomes dark earth. A low garden spreads beneath the woven ceiling. It is not like the orchards or herb beds of the village. Nothing here has been arranged in rows. Small ferns grow naturally between smooth stones. Soft moss covers the edges of shallow pools. Pale mushrooms rise beneath the roots, their caps small and closed. Warm moisture fills the air. Drops fall slowly from above and disappear into the soil. A narrow path winds through the garden. It is formed from round stones pressed gently into the earth. The plants remain low. Nothing blocks your view. The chamber feels open and restful, despite the garden growing across it. You follow the stone path. The scent of damp soil becomes richer. The warmth is gentle. The garden seems to belong entirely to the hill, untended, unhurried, growing in darkness, far beneath every changing season. The garden path leads toward a cluster of immense roots. They gather at the end of the chamber, like the base of an ancient tree. Between them, water rises from the earth. The spring is perfectly clear. It fills a deep, rounded basin before flowing away through the garden. The basin has no carved edge. Its shape was formed naturally between stone and root. Fine streams of bubbles rise from below. They reach the surface and disappear without sound. Warmth shimmers gently above the water. The roots curve around the spring, as though protecting it. Some touch the surface, others disappear beneath it. You stand at the edge. The water reveals the pale stone far below. Nothing moves there except the steady bubbles. This may be the source of the warm channels, the beginning of the streams that pass through the sanctuary, a hidden spring feeding every quiet chamber behind you. A broad terrace rises beside the spring. 3 shallow steps lead to it. The stone is pale and dry. Long cushions of woven moss-colored cloth rest against the wall. They are simple and unmarked. A low table has been shaped from the same stone as the floor. On it sits a shallow bowl filled with clear water and smooth river pebbles. Nothing else. The terrace overlooks the spring and the low garden beyond. From here, the whole chamber feels still. The rising bubbles, the dripping roots, the quiet movement of water through the ferns. You settle into the calm of the terrace. The stone beneath you holds the warmth of the spring. The wall behind it curves inward, creating a sheltered place to rest. There is no need to move quickly. The deeper sanctuary waits. It does not call. It does not pull. It simply remains ahead, ready whenever you choose to continue. Beyond the resting terrace, a narrow stair climbs between 2 walls of pale stone. Steam drifts down the steps. It moves in thin layers close to the floor. The stair is not steep. Each step is long and shallow. A small groove along one side carries warm water downward. The water flows beside you as you climb. The walls become smoother higher up. Their mineral bands turn from pale cream to soft amber. Not bright, only warmer. The steam carries the faint scent of stone after rain. Your path curves gently to the left. The spring garden disappears below. The sound of bubbling water fades. At the top, the stair opens into a low passage filled with warm haze. The air there is still. A quiet glow rests beyond it. You take the final step and enter another level of the sanctuary. The passage opens into a long mineral hall. Its walls hold a soft amber color, not from lamps, not from fire. The color comes from the stone itself. Wide bands of mineral run through the chamber, glowing gently wherever warm water touches them. A shallow pool stretches along one wall. The opposite side remains dry, forming a broad walking path. Above the pool, the ceiling slopes downward in smooth layers. Drops of condensation gather there and fall into the water. Each one creates a small ring. The rings spread, meet one another, and fade. The warm amber stone makes the chamber feel sheltered, almost enclosed in evening light. Although you are far beneath the surface, you walk beside the pool. Its water is still except for the falling drops. At the far end, an opening is framed by two broad pillars of natural stone. Beyond them, the hall continues into shadow. Beyond the stone pillars, the ceiling rises into darkness. Water falls from above in slow, separate drops. They do not fall everywhere, only within the center of the chamber. Beneath them lies a broad, circular basin. Its surface is dark and perfectly calm between each drop. One falls. A ripple forms, then another reaches the water nearby. The rings cross and slowly disappear. A dry walkway circles the basin. The outer wall is lined with smooth, warm stone. Small alcoves open at intervals, each holding a simple stone seat. The chamber is made for listening. Every drop produces a clear sound. Some are higher, some deeper. The spaces between them feel just as important. You follow the circular path. The pattern never repeats in quite the same way. Drop, silence, ripple, silence again. The sound becomes part of the stillness rather than breaking it. One of the alcoves leads farther back than the others. A narrow opening curves behind the chamber wall. You follow it. The sound of falling drops becomes softer. The passage ends in a small bathing hollow. Warm water fills a natural stone basin. It is just large enough to stretch across the room. The water remains completely still. A smooth ledge runs around its edge. Folded cloths rest in a shallow wall recess. Their colors are muted. Cream, soft green, faded brown. No decoration covers the walls. Only pale mineral lines and a few fine roots descending from above. A narrow opening near the ceiling allows a quiet stream of fresh air into the hollow. It moves across the steam and gathers it into delicate shapes. The room feels private, protected, a place to rest after traveling farther beneath the hill than most paths ever reach. A second doorway leaves the bathing hollow. The passage beyond is lined with rounded stones. Large ones form the lower walls. Smaller stones rise above them in careful layers. Each has been smoothed by water. Their colors shift gently from gray to cream to warm brown. The floor curves downward. A thin stream follows its center. You walk on raised stone edges beside it. The stream gives the passage a soft, continuous voice. Unlike the dripping chamber, this sound never pauses. It is low and even. The rounded walls hold the warmth. They make the passage feel smaller, but not confined. More like a tunnel shaped to shelter anyone moving through it. Ahead, the stream disappears beneath a low stone bridge. Beyond the bridge, pale steam rises into a larger chamber. The passage opens beside a wide basin of steaming water. This is the largest pool in the sanctuary so far. Its shape is long and curved. One side disappears beneath an overhang of stone. The other opens toward a broad terrace. Steam drifts across the surface in slow layers. Now and then, the water beneath it becomes visible, dark, clear and faintly lit by pale mineral deposits below. The stream from the rounded passage enters through a small channel. At the opposite end, water spills quietly over a low edge and disappears into another opening. Smooth stone steps descend into the basin. Beside them, several dry platforms rest beneath the shelter of the rock wall. The chamber feels warmer than all those before it, yet the air remains gentle. The steam never grows heavy. It moves across the water and fades into the high ceiling. You stand at the terrace edge. The basin rests before you like a still, warm lake beneath the hill. A narrow stair climbs from the basin to a higher terrace. The steps follow the curve of the wall. As you rise, the whole chamber opens beneath you. The warm pool becomes a dark, shining shape below. Steam passes slowly across it. The terrace above is dry and quiet. Its floor is covered with woven mats in soft, natural colors. Low stone rests line the wall. A row of small openings looks down across the basin. Through them, you can watch the water without standing near its edge. The air here is warm but clear. The sound of the basin reaches you as a gentle hush. The terrace extends farther than you first realized. At its far end, roots form a wide arch. Beyond that arch lies a darker room. A soft, pale glow rests low within it. The sanctuary is leading away from water now, toward quieter resting places, toward deeper stillness. You pass beneath the wide root arch. The chamber beyond is quieter than every place before it. There is no flowing stream, no falling water, no bubbling spring, only warmth. The room is broad and low. Its walls are made from smooth, pale stone. Ancient roots curve through the ceiling and descend along the corners like natural pillars. Several resting spaces have been formed around the room. Each one is slightly raised. Each holds thick woven bedding in soft earth colors. Not beds for final sleep, more like places to pause, places to lie beneath the roots and listen to the silence. At the center of the room rests a shallow stone bowl filled with warm water. Its surface does not move. A faint mist rises from it and disappears. Across the chamber, a darker opening waits between two roots. The air beyond it feels even warmer, even stiller. You understand that this is only the first sanctuary room. The deeper resting places lie ahead. But for now, you remain beneath the roots. The quiet gathers around you. The journey beneath the hill has brought you somewhere completely sheltered. And for the first time, even the sound of water has fallen away. The first sanctuary room remains behind you. Its resting platforms fade into the warm dimness. Ahead, the darker opening waits between two immense roots. You move toward it slowly. The roots rise from the floor and meet overhead, forming a narrow, natural doorway. Beyond them, the passage is dark. Yet, the darkness is not cold. Warm air moves through it. The air is still enough that you can feel every quiet change. You step beneath the roots. The sound of the shallow, central bowl disappears behind you. For a few moments, there is almost nothing to see. Only the pale stone beneath your feet. Only the faint outline of roots curving along the walls. Then a soft light appears ahead. Low, muted, steady. The passage begins to widen. The final sanctuary lies somewhere beyond. The stone floor gradually gives way to packed earth. It is dark and smooth. Fine roots cross beneath its surface, creating gentle raised lines. The walls remain pale, but they feel farther apart now. The passage has become broad enough to walk without brushing against either side. Small patches of moss grow where the earth meets the stone. No water runs here. No steam rises. The air is warm and dry. Every step becomes quieter. The soft ground takes the sound and holds it. Above, a few roots pass through the ceiling in long, slow curves. Their surfaces are dry. Their bark is pale with age. The glow ahead remains low to the ground. It seems to come from another room. You follow it through the silent passage. The passage opens into a long, low room. Its walls are covered with woven material. Not cloth exactly. Something made from pale grasses, thin roots, and softened bark. The weaving follows the curves of the chamber. Nothing hangs loosely. Everything rests close against the stone. The material makes the room feel warmer, quieter too. Low cushions are arranged along one wall. Their colors are muted, brown, cream, deep green. At the center is a narrow open space of smooth earth. The glow comes from shallow mineral hollows near the floor. Their light is faint and warm. You move slowly through the room. The woven walls absorb even the smallest sound. This place feels made for silence. A smaller chamber opens beside the woven room. Inside, the weaving continues. Long strands of dried grass and fine root fiber rest across a low wooden frame. The frame is simple, old, carefully maintained. Finished pieces are folded on a stone shelf. Their patterns are gentle and plain. Wide bands, soft lines, no symbols, no writing. Perhaps the resting mats throughout the sanctuary were made here. Perhaps the village once brought its quietest materials beneath the hill to be woven in this room. You stand near the threshold. Nothing moves. No hands work the frame. Only the finished cloth remains. Warm air passes through the chamber and stirs one loose fiber. Then stillness returns. Beyond the loom chamber, the path narrows again. Stone shelves line both sides. Folded bedding rests upon them. Thick woven covers, soft mats, rolled cushions. Each piece is placed carefully. Some are pale cream, others are moss green or warm brown. The corridor has no doors, only shallow recesses holding everything needed for rest. The materials carry a faint earthy scent. Grass, dry bark, clean wool. You walk between the shelves. The corridor feels more like a preparation room than a passage, a place where travelers once chose what they needed before continuing deeper. At the far end, the walls open toward a wider chamber. A pale resting platform is visible ahead. The corridor opens into a wide resting chamber. Several broad platforms rise slightly from the floor. Each one is covered with layered mats and folded blankets. They are arranged with space between them. No platform feels hidden. No curtain separates one from another. The chamber was once meant for shared rest, for travelers arriving together, for families returning from long paths beneath the hill. The ceiling is low and softly curved. Roots pass through it in wide arcs. Between the platforms, narrow paths of smooth stone lead toward the far wall. There, a single opening continues onward. The room is empty now, yet it still holds a feeling of welcome. You move between the resting places. The blankets remain folded, waiting quietly. Near the far wall, the roots gather around a shallow stone hollow. At first, it resembles a hearth, but there is no fire. Warmth rises from beneath the stone itself. Several smooth rocks rest inside the hollow. Their surfaces hold a gentle heat. The roots curve around them without touching. Above, the ceiling remains dark. No smoke has ever marked it. This is not a place for flame, only warmth. You stand beside the stone hollow. The heat reaches the air around you, soft, even, enough to warm blankets, enough to dry damp cloth, enough to make the chamber feel protected. A narrow passage continues beyond the hearth. Its walls are darker than those before. The next passage is darker. The pale limestone has faded into deep grey stone. Thin mineral lines travel through the walls. They are silver rather than gold. Their light is barely visible, only enough to reveal the shape of the way ahead. The floor is smooth, dry, slightly warm. The passage slopes downward in a long, gentle curve. Roots are fewer here. The hill feels older, more like stone than earth. Your footsteps remain quiet. The dark walls hold the warmth closely. Far ahead, the passage ends in a soft blue-grey haze. You continue toward it. The deepest rooms cannot be far now. The dark passage opens into a chamber of blue-grey stone. The color is soft, like the sky before dawn. The walls are smooth and almost matte. They do not shine. At the center, a low platform has been carved directly from the floor. A single folded blanket rests upon it. Nothing else. The chamber feels cooler than the rooms behind you. Not cold, only fresh. A narrow opening high in the wall allows a faint current of air to pass through. The air moves across the blanket, lifts one corner, lets it fall. You pause beside the platform. This is another resting place. Quieter, simpler, closer to the center of the hill. A narrow opening leads from the bluestone chamber. The passage beyond feels different. Fresh air travels through it in slow, gentle currents. You hear no wind, only the faint movement of air through hidden spaces in the hill. Small openings appear high along the walls. They are irregular, natural. Some lead upward. Others disappear sideways into the stone. The air passes through them and joins the passage. The floor rises slightly. Soft moss returns along the edges. The walls become paler with every step. Ahead, the passage brightens, not with strong light, with the soft grey of a hidden morning. The passage opens into a chamber filled with pale grey light. The light seems to come through the stone itself, soft, cool, even. The chamber is almost empty. A circular stone seat surrounds a low central space filled with fine pale sand. The surface of the sand is perfectly smooth. No footprints mark it. No object rests upon it. The roots here are thin and silver grey. They cross the ceiling in quiet lines. The room feels like the memory of morning. Not morning itself, only its calmest colours. You walk around the circular seat. Across the chamber, a low doorway waits beneath the silver roots. Beyond the low doorway is a narrow room. Woven covers hang from smooth wooden rails. They are spaced apart so that air can pass between them. Some are thick, others light enough to move with the faint current. Their colors are soft and natural: cream, gray-green, dusty brown. One cover sways slowly, then settles. The room smells of dried grass and clean fabric. Stone shelves beneath the rails hold small, folded pillows. At the far end, another opening leads deeper. The rooms are becoming simpler now. Each one seems to offer only what is needed: warmth, quiet, rest. The next room is small. Only one resting platform fits inside. It has been built into the stone wall. A thick mat covers it. A folded blanket rests near the head. The room is narrow enough to feel sheltered, yet the ceiling rises gently above the bed. A single root follows the curve of the ceiling. It descends behind the platform and disappears into the floor. There is no table, no bowl, no shelf, only the bed, the blanket, the root. The room feels ready for someone who wished to sleep alone, surrounded by stone. You remain at the entrance. The deepest chamber still waits beyond. A second opening lies beside the single bed. It is lower than the others. You pass beneath it. Two pale roots curve together around the doorway. Their surfaces are smooth, almost silver in the soft light. Beyond them, the passage is completely silent. Even the moving air has disappeared. The floor is covered with a thin layer of fine sand. Your steps leave shallow marks. Behind you, the marks soften almost at once. The sand settles back into place. The passage leads straight ahead. At its end, a wide chamber waits in darkness. Only the center of the room holds a faint, warm glow. The passage opens into the widest resting chamber yet. The ceiling is low at the edges and high at the center. Great roots rise from every side. They curve inward without meeting. Together, they form the shape of a shelter. The floor is covered with soft earth. At the center rests a broad circular platform. It is layered with woven mats and thick blankets. The faint glow comes from beneath the platform. Warm mineral light passes softly through narrow gaps in the stone. Nothing else fills the chamber. No water, no shelves, no seats. Only the sleeping place beneath the gathered roots. You stand at the edge of the room. The whole hill feels still above you. You move closer to the circular platform. The blankets are layered carefully. Heavy covers beneath, softer ones above. Their colors follow the earth around them. Deep brown, moss green, warm cream. A wide cushion rests near the center. The surface has been shaped into a gentle hollow, a place to settle. The roots above form slow curves against the ceiling. Tiny droplets no longer gather there. Everything is dry. Everything is warm. The light beneath the platform remains steady. It does not flicker. It only softens the edges of the blankets. You reach the side of the sleeping place. The long journey beneath the hill is almost complete. Before resting, you look back. The passage behind you appears between the great roots. Beyond it lie all the rooms you have crossed. The Dawnstone Chamber, the blue-grey passage, the shared resting room, the steam basin far above, the river, the gardens, the village beneath the hill. You cannot see them from here, yet you can feel the path connecting them. Every bridge, every stream, every route, every quiet chamber. The entrance behind you looks small now, far away. The deepest room holds you gently. Nothing from the journey has followed you here except calm. You turn back toward the blankets. The resting hollow waits at the center. You lower yourself into it. The layered covers settle around you. Their weight is gentle. The cushion beneath you gives softly. The stone platform holds warmth from below. Above, the roots curve through the darkness. Their shapes are broad and calm. The room remains completely silent. No stream reaches this depth. No drop falls. No wind moves through the stone. Only your breathing remains. Slow, warm, even. The hill surrounds you on every side. The faint mineral light beneath the platform grows softer, not dimmer, only farther away. It passes through the woven edges of the blankets. Small lines of warmth appear between the fibers. The roots above fade into shadow. The chamber becomes simpler. Blankets, warm stone, quiet earth. Breathing. Nothing else is needed. The hidden village continues somewhere above. Its streams still move. Its gardens still rest beneath their glass roofs. Its bridges remain empty in the night. But here, at the center of the hill, everything is still. Your eyes grow heavy. The warmth holds you. The light beneath the blankets becomes a distant warmth. The roots above disappear into darkness. The final chamber is quiet. The hill rests around you. Far above, the hidden village sleeps beside its streams and gardens. The river moves beneath the oldest roots. Warm water passes through pale stone. The sanctuary remains still. Every chamber behind you settles into silence. Every path rests. Every bridge waits. Nothing asks you to return. Nothing needs your attention. Your breathing slows. The warmth beneath you remains steady. The blankets hold their gentle weight. And deep beneath the hidden hill, where no sound can reach you, you drift quietly into sleep.